beautiful people. Hello, beautiful people. It's a nice, bright, and exciting Friday, and I'm so glad that you're here with me. Are you ready to see some beautiful cards and a beautiful kit? If you are, I'm so glad you're joining me, whether you're watching me live or you're catching me on the replay. As always, I appreciate the fact that you're joining me. Half a day, everyone. My name is Becky Tovis with Crafty Chamarita. I come to you every Friday at 12 o'clock Guam time and 7 o'clock Pacific time if you're in the States. And I am just so glad to be showing you this beautiful kit. It's one of the newest kits that Stampin' Up! Came up with. And I got to tell you, I knew it was pretty when I saw it, on the internet and stuff. But it wasn't until I opened it up and I started playing with it that I realized just how gorgeous it is. So this is one of those kits that you want to play with and maybe even get a second or third one. It's that gorgeous. Trust me. So without further ado, let me go ahead and show you the kit. Oh, I forgot one more thing. I forgot to bring my flyer and put it in front of me, but as a reminder, Stampin' Up! Sale on bundles goes on until June 30th. So you have a couple more days before that special is over, and you get an additional 10% off the bundles that come with the stamp and the dies. Not the ones with the punches, but the ones with the dies. So trust me, I've got a whole bunch of stuff in my cart, and I am going to press, I'm going to hit that button to get the bundles that I've been putting on the site and I haven't had a chance to order, but I will. So without further ado, let me go ahead and switch to my work screen here so that I can show you this gorgeous, gorgeous kit. It's called Expressions of Kindness, and it comes in this brown box. So the traditional box that, the kits typically come in. I'm going to open that without trying to hit my camera here. And it looks like this. So it's got the instructions here. And these are the cards that the kit makes. As you can see, they are gorgeous. Okay. And with every instruction, it comes with pictures. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make the cards that come with the kit, and then I'm going to show you some samples as well. Not samples, some alternative samples. So let me show you first what comes in the kit. It comes with these stamps. Now, it's not here because I mounted it on my blocks ready to use and to show you. Wishing you, let me put this like this so you can see it a little bit better. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. Just a note. And then it has these, what pattern do you call this? I'm not sure what pattern that is. And then kindly delivered to. This is something that's new. I haven't seen this before. You can stamp it on the outside of the envelope. And then it has like leaves. So I haven't had a chance to use this one. But the others I have. Okay, what else does it come with? It also comes with the block and dimensionals. And then it comes with these gold embellishments. So quite obviously, gold is part of the color scheme for this kit. And then it also comes with a spool of ribbon. And I didn't measure it, but my goodness, this looks like a full spool, which is awesome. It comes in white. Okay. And then it comes with 4 card bases that look like this. And 4 card bases that look like this. So I know many of you out there are saying, ooh, I can cut this in half and make more cards with it. And that's absolutely what I did, right? Because to me, it's kind of a waste to have this backside with this pretty design. Or, unless you flip the card over, you're not going to know it's there. I showed it to my daughter this morning and she's like, Mom, I like having the design in the back, which is true. It's beautiful, but why not chop it and put it in the front of a card and get more use out of it, right? That's my thinking. And then it also comes with this sheet of sentiment holders. You could put your stamp your sentiments on there. And that comes with gorgeous, gorgeous envelope. Look at that. Envelopes. So pretty, right? And the envelopes come in 2 different designs. This one that just has 2 flowers, and this one that has flowers all over. Now I'm thinking, I don't know about you, but our postal system can be very finicky, and I'm not sure if I want to send this through the mail. I wouldn't recommend it. Sorry, it looks a little bit too busy and they may not be able to see the address. So why not chop it, right? Cut it all out and chop it and make more cards with it. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay, and then it also comes with, oh, I think that's it. I guess I wanted to show you, keep this here so to show you how I used, I cut off the front and the back of one of the cards and I used it to make alternatives. See if there's anything else in there. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything. Okay, I'm going to put this all back in. I'll leave this out because I'm going to show you how to make the sample card. And then what I found that was really helpful was I looked at the back of the instruction sheet, because in the back of every instruction sheet, it tells you what the coordinating colors are. So you don't have to guess, right? And so what I did is I just wrote it down here so that I could see it better, because you know my memory is terrible. I won't remember the colors. And I use this as a guide to decide what the card base was going to be like. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and show you the first card. The first card looks like this. I'm just going to flip that over to cover the glare. Okay. It looks like this. And it's very, very easy to make. Okay. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to put this aside so that I have room to work with. And I've already mounted the stamp that I'm going to be using. It's this one here. And the color that comes in the kit is Blackberry Bliss. I prefer to use my full ink pads rather than using the ink spots. Plus, I always use the ink spots as a, they're giveaways, right, for my customers. So I like to save that. Okay, I'm going to ink it up. And because this is photopolymer and I have a tendency not to stamp very well with photopolymer, I'm using the Pierce mat in the back. So I'm just stamping that there. And then I'm going to take one of the small sentiment pieces. I think it got, where did it go? It fell down in all of my moving. And here we're going to put wishing you the happiest of birthdays. I'm going to ink that up. And I'm going to stamp that there. Very simple, very easy to put together. And then it calls for a ribbon that's 6 1/4 inches long, like this. And what I've just, found that it's easier to do for me, because this one requires that you kind of fold it in half. Okay, I'm going to mark where it's going to be, like so. And I'm going to turn it around, and then I'm going to put my dimensionals. So when I do this, I'm going to put some of them on the piece itself and then some on the ribbon. And that way it helps to keep everything in place. So I'm going to be using 4 dimensionals here. And before I put it down, I'm just going to cut the end pieces, because it's easier to cut it before I adhere it to the card. The sample has the end pieces being straight, but I think it looks prettier when you slant it, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to close my ink here. Yeah, when I'm not using my ink pad, or when you're not using your ink pad, definitely close it, so that way the ink stays nice and wet and your pad doesn't dry out. Okay, and you'll see that this is a very easy card to make. So when you do this card, you're going to see that there's a green, like a, this is actually Lost Lagoon. There's a piece of Lost Lagoon here, and there's a piece of Lost Lagoon on the corner. So what I try to do is kind of match it up so it looks like it's one continuous image. See that? Cool, right? Just little touches. And this card is done. Fold that, and I'm going to burnish it. I'll do it from the back side. And there you go. Your card is ready to go. Very easy, right? Easy peasy. All right, let's do the second card. The second card looks like this. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness. Look at that. So, oh, I'm sorry. Before I do the second card, sorry, I forgot something. Remember how I said there's a stamp to stamp the envelope? And that's the first time I've ever seen it. So the stamp goes in the front. It says, kindly deliver to. Just want to make sure this is the right one I mounted. How awesome is that, right? Kindly deliver to. And I'll just put it there. Very simple. Very easy. And it just adds a little bit more interest, I think. Makes your envelope a little bit prettier. It's already gorgeous to begin with, right? But that helps a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to put that on the side. And now we can go to our second card. So our second card has a different card base. And I'm going, what happened to the card base? Duh, it's right here. I flipped it around. Scared myself there for a minute. Oh, Becky, you silly rabbit. Okay, and you're going to need this piece here and this piece here. Gorgeous, right? Absolutely gorgeous. Now, let me see. Let's turn this around. You can use dimensionals, which comes in the kit, but I'm not going to do that. I like using my Tombow glue to adhere it down, mostly because when there's so many of these pieces that kind of flap, I like to glue them down. I think you've heard me say that before, right? I just don't like them flapping around. It just increases the chances of it tearing. So when I keep it flat, I can glue more pieces together. Versus if you put a dimensional on it, it's much harder to adhere these pieces that stick out. And I want to make sure I get that end piece, because in my other card, I could tell that that was moving around a little bit more than I wanted it to. Okay, I'm just going to put it kind of in the center of the card. And I'm here like that. And then for this piece here, you have to use the glue dots. There's just no way of getting around it. You have to use the glue dots. Except there's no glue dots. Oh, there they are. Oh, scared myself there for a second. I thought I took it out and moved it somewhere else. So this is what I do when I have to put glue dots in a very skinny space. I just take a pick and I roll it. I don't know if you can see that. I roll it so that I could get it to fit in these itsy bitsy spaces here. And these glue dots are pretty strong, so you don't need that many of them. Don't feel like you have to put them in every single branch because you don't. So I'm aiming for the bigger areas, the larger areas, where I know the glue dot can fit. So just kind of look at your branch here and find the areas that, the parts that have a little bit more area space. And I'm going to put one more in the top just because I have a lot in the bottom and I want to balance it out I want to make sure that this piece doesn't move around. And once I have that, got a stray dimensional backing there, then I'm going to adhere it to the card. Like so, okay? All right, so let's do our sentiment. This one is gonna say just a note. And it basically follows the same design as the other card in terms of using a ribbon and how to place it on the card. I've got my just a note, and I do have my ribbon. I pre-cut it. I know it's here somewhere. Sorry. This darn cough is so hard to get rid of from the last time I got sick, which was several weeks ago, if not a month ago. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to spread it out a little bit. And I'm going to figure out how it's going to go on my sentiment. So I'm going to put a dimensional so that it adheres to the strip, the sentiment strip, as well as the ribbon. Now this one's going to be a little bit trickier because it's skinnier. So this piece here only adheres to the ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my glue and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here. Press that down so that the ribbon sticks to the strip. And just like I did with the other one, this one didn't fold as nicely as I wanted to. It's okay. I'm going to cut the ribbon before I adhere it to my card base. This moved a little bit, so okay, let me just fix that. It's a little bit too sharp on the edges. The ribbon moved. Move that out of the way. I'm going to move my dimensionals. If you have the pick tool to take this out, I don't recommend doing it with this one because you kind of have to make sure that the ribbon is held down. And just a note, and let's put it there. Let's burnish it. And voila, the card is done. Isn't this a gorgeous card? These cards are so, so pretty. So these are the cards that the kit makes. It makes 4 of each card, okay? But if you want to play around with it and get more cards, let me show you what you can do. Okay. I'm just going to grab a white piece here. Hopefully I put it where the glare is. Okay, and let me show you my alternatives. Of course, I didn't put it right next to me. Hold on a second. Let's grab it right here. So cool that I have a stool. My chair is I have 2 chairs. One, my main chair that I'm sitting on, but when I do my live, I have this stool that has wheels on it. So I just roll around, so it makes it a lot easier. Okay, so let me show you what I made with it. And if you remember, in the very beginning, I told you what the coordinating colors for this kit are. Blackberry Bliss, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Petunia Pop, Wild Wheat, and Gold. And that's important because I use this to determine what the base of the card is going to be. And I think when I'm all done, I'm going to take a poll and I'm going to ask you guys to tell me what you think was the prettiest base for this card. Okay, so here's one of the cards. I cut the card front And this one has Mossy Meadow. And I just put wishing you the happiest of birthdays. And then I put um, a, sh- a ribbon that's Mossy Meadow. Sorry, this is a retired piece. So typically what I do is I go to my stash of ribbons and I see what color do I have that matches. Okay. All right. So that's one card. And here's another one. This is Petunia Pop. This card, I'm going to mail it out tomorrow. This is an old sentiment. Your birthday came, your birthday went. Here is the card I should have sent because one of my friend's birthdays is today and I was just too busy and I didn't get a chance to mail off her card. So I'll be mailing it off tomorrow. And then what I did here is I just colored in the iridescent gems and I used Blackberry Bliss, which is one of the coordinating colors. And then I had a Petunia Pop ribbon and I put it in the back of that. The paper is so pretty. You guys, you don't really have to do a lot to dress up the card. So this one is Blackberry Bliss. And I used one of the gold pieces here. And the sentiment, this is a retired one. Perhaps the stars are openings where our loved ones shine down to let us know they are happy. So this is going to be either a sympathy card or an anniversary of the death of a loved one. This one has wild wheat. So I cut the piece here. So this one, in case you guys are interested, this is 1.25 strips each by, I think I made it by 5. And then I ended up having to trim it in the top to trim the white to match it, right? Okay. So yeah, this is 3.7. So I cut it 3.75 by 5, and then I cut this down 1 1/4 for each one. Okay. That's the wild wheat. And this one is another pretty petunia. I used the ribbon here, and I used the sentiment, and I stamped just a note. The paper is so pretty. You don't really need to do a lot to dress up the card, and you don't want to cover the paper because it's gorgeous. Here's another one, and this one I use the nature dyes of nature, something like that, the circular one. And I wanted to try something a little bit different. It's off a little bit, but I like the general effect. So I only used half of a part of the circle instead of putting the whole circle, mainly because I didn't want to cover the paper. I think the paper is gorgeous and I didn't want to cover it up, right? So that's how that card looks. And I use Blackberry Bliss as the background layer. Okay. And then the last one, okay, I'm going to admit the last one is the simplest card of all, but I tell you, it's my favorite. It's so pretty. And all I did was I took one of the extra flowers and I just stamped with sympathy. So there's really no other layer other than this, but I tell you, this card is so pretty. And I don't know if it's because it's simplicity that adds to the beauty of the card, but my goodness. And you can stamp any sentiment here. And it doesn't look like a busy card at all. And the focus really is on the flower. Very pretty. Okay, so those are the cards I made. I wanted to show you what you can do. And I'm not done making the cards. I just ran out of time. I wanted to show you what you can do with the envelope to get extra pieces, right? Because remember I said, I'm not going to use this to mail. Definitely not. It's too busy and I'm worried that the postman won't be able to see the address and it'll get sent back. So I don't want to do that. So instead, what I'm going to recommend that you do is cut it up. So let's cut it up so that you can use it. So what you do is look at the edging here and then your trimmer here. I want to make sure it's in the screen and just line it to a little bit past where it's going to cut. So you're going to get that piece off and you're going to do the same thing for the top. Let me move this into the screen so you can see it. So here's my line where I know I'm going to cut. I could see the groove. So I'm just going to move a little bit past it. for the top. And then for the bottom, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to have to use the bottom of the trimmer. And then once you open it up, you're going to see that not only can you use this piece here, but you can also use this piece and you can use this piece. Just cut it up to however, whatever dimension that you want. So this kit really makes quite a few cards. So when I'm all done, hopefully if I can remember, I can post everything together of all the cards that I've made so that you guys can see it. And hopefully that will give you inspiration to use this kit and make more cards. So again, this kit is called Expressions of Kindness. It's available online, so you can't find it in the catalog. It's an absolutely gorgeous kit, and I recommend that you get it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And again, if you're watching this, even if it's on the replay, please shoot me a message that I know that you stopped by. All right, everyone, have a wonderful Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.